Clearinghouse homepage?
Yes.
All right. So for whoever was asking how to navigate, maybe I went through that a little bit fast. On our Clearinghouse homepage, that's clearinghouse.starnetlibraries.org, you'll go down to a universe of stories, this collection down here. And then from there, you can find these 80 activities that we specifically pulled out, I should say 80 and growing, that we specifically pulled out for this content area. So you can click show all if you wanted to see all of them. For the sake of time, I'm just going to do a search. Okay, so this one's fun. And if you leave this webinar and you're like, I saw them do star power, but I have no idea how to do it, there's actually a really good YouTube video that you can do as well. We do our best to show you how to do this in this well-lit room, but you do need a dark room. And it's all about constellations and kind of making a model of a constellation, if you will. So you're making a little projector box using a flashlight, a box, a few other odds and ends. Let me go ahead and open the activity. And yeah, it's a little PDF, sorry. Killian, can you see the PDF there?
No, it is still on your browser.
Okay. Here we go. So you'll just need like a shoebox. Really, we found a long shoebox wasn't the best thing. We actually kind of like had more success making this box shorter instead of longer.
Like this.
Yes. For everybody else that orders a lot of beakers, and you get a lot of boxes like these that contain those beakers, which probably isn't everybody, but they're good for that. So a little index card, and that's going to be helpful for making your constellation. Tape, scissors, push pins. The push pins will be pretty important. And then a single bulb LED keychain light. I didn't take that seriously, and I was like, what do you mean a single bulb? That doesn't matter. And when we were shining through our regular LED flashlights, it was just reflecting the pattern of those flashlights. Anyway, pay attention to that. A camera or a phone flashlight works pretty well for this too. We'll show you in just a minute. And then, yeah, this is an optional book or website that contains drawings of constellations, construction paper, glue, et cetera, et cetera. So you will need something to inspire you to make a constellation. To give you a quick wrap up or a quick roundup, basically you make a box, you make one hole for a flashlight or for that single LED flashlight, and the other side is going to be your projection. Okay, so when you shine the flashlight through in a dark room, it's going to project that light in just those tiny little holes, just like it's a constellation. Again, we've just done this in this room, some light coming in. It looked pretty good, but I think if you had a really dark room and a bunch of excited kids, this would be a really great activity to talk about constellations. So for your programming, constellations are really something that you can, tie into cultural, historical, social things. And it's just it's an easy jumping point maybe for a library staff that's like, I don't want to get too hard into the science, but I do want to talk about, some aspects of astronomy and some aspects of space science. So we actually have a book, and I'll go grab it and show you. This is a great constellation tie-in. I don't know if anybody's familiar with it, by H.A. Ray. It's called Find the Constellations. And I'm not going to go through it or anything like that, but if you're looking for a book that you could, pick a little bit to read for like a story time or something like that, this would be a really good choice. Again, that's H.A. Ray, Find the Constellations. If you're not doing a book and you need some inspiration for a constellation, there's a few different websites that I would recommend. So let's see, I think I hope I put them on the link bank. One of them is Google Sky. So I like using Google Sky. It's pretty easy to use. Let me see if I can just pull it up real quick for you all. Yeah, so right, it's just right there in your search bar. So it just shows you the night sky. You can input where you are. You can, get a little bit more information about where your location is. So we see our constellations down here. I click on them, I zoom out, and I have a big old group of constellations. So yeah, so anyway, that'll give you some basis for it. But you know what, let's go ahead and turn over to Kellyanne and see kind of what she's working on over there and what her star power box looks like. So Kellyanne, I'm gonna stop my video over here. I'm gonna mute myself.
All right, so we've got over here a couple of boxes for you all.
I see somebody saying skywalk. or Skywalker, right? That's a really good website that you can use as well.
Excellent. And starts. Yeah, exactly. Stephanie's jumping in with those are tested favorites there with some free download options. Thanks, Stephanie. So where would you like to begin, Brooks?
Where do we want to begin? Okay, so I'll show you the basic construction. This is just as nice as yours looks. I don't even know what it was beforehand, right? Is it a Kleenex box?
Here we have a Kleenex box for this one.
Yeah.
And this is a completed model that we'll show you. I just wanted to give you a sense of, I was trying to channel my inner middle school girl because this activity is really designed to engage girls at the middle school grade years. There's a show called SciGirls with an episode that goes with it and lots of clips that you can use and incorporate in your program. But I was just trying to channel that, and I took some wrapping paper and just decorated a little bit. Got the constellation that's on the end of my little projector here so that I can keep track of it. I mean, you can imagine this being something that you'd decorate with stickers and markers and all sorts of things, transforming a Kleenex box into something that helps the girls and boys and anyone else learn about constellations.
Wonderful. All right, so yeah, my box, what I did with these black sheets, I just covered up any spots that might let light in, so where like the packaging met, covered that up with a black sheet, taped it up. Mine is like the bare bones version. Tape this one up here. Can I pan out a little bit? Unfortunately not. This thing's a kind of a weird camera, but I'll try to come out a little bit. And then I cut a hole in here, right? Put a little piece of black marking over it. And then on the opposite side of the hole, you know, this kind of reminds me of Daylight in a Bottle, that activity a little bit.
Absolutely.
On the opposite side of the hole, let's see if I can make it a little bit better for you. That'll work for now. On the opposite side of the hole is where you will punch your constellations, okay? So, Kellyanne has already punched her constellations. We'll let hers be the good one in case mine is, oh, nice, good idea. So we're trying to solve our.
Here, we're going to elevate for you.
Yeah.
We're using some astronomy books here.
Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay, so again, viewing hole on this side, and then where we're going to punch our holes to make our constellation on this side. So I think I have a sheet with some constellations in there. Thank you. And I printed these out from stardate.org, another good website. Another good website I used is thoughtco.com, which I wouldn't normally just go around recommending websites, but I actually used to write articles for them. So I know they're good. I know they're it's worthwhile. So, and Kellyanne, you were saying instead of doing it like this, right? You want to flip it over, invert it. Yeah. Let's see.
You can use either a template like this, or you can have the participants just punch out on a freehand something and then punch out on this as their template.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to use that as a template. Brooks, I see you're looking for your push pin there.
I am.
There we go. So this is, again, you know, this is intended for that sort of middle school.
Let myself know where the holes are.
Oh, good idea. See, this does require a push pin or something pretty sharp because you got to push through that cardboard. So
yeah, I don't know if I would do this with much younger than.
Yeah, it is very good for those.
Fourth or fifth maybe would be like the youngest I might do this for. But,
yeah, definitely.
Okay. So let's see. We might get a bonus hole. That's okay. All right. You do want these to be somewhat big. You don't want them to be little small, tiny holes because they do need to let light in. So maybe when you push them in, kind of work it around a little bit. You'd also want to be cognizant of not choosing a material that's way too thick. All right. So I don't know. It looks like we got holes in there. It seems like it should work. Knock on wood.
And if you just to pause, I want to reemphasize that point of you have to flip the constellation to be flip side because you're projecting through. So if you do it just the regular way, like Brooks flipped it over, right? If you do it this regular way, then when you shine it on the wall, the constellation will be backwards. So you flip it on this part so that when it projects, it's the right way forward. And I think we can show that to you.
Let's try, yeah. You want me to cut the lights?
Yeah, that'd be great.
So everybody bear with us because we're having to move some cameras around. We're going to try to show you what this looks like. No promises or anything like that. So just bear with us for a minute. Let's see. You see Kellyanne's under here. Let me see if I can. Ah,
It looks just like Scorpius.
just like Scorpius.
You can see there the kind of the sort of offset diamond there shape of the near the top of Scorpius, and then the rest of the pattern kind of arcs around. And
Yeah.
I picked this particular pattern because it is up and noticeable in July and August. And it's also one of the constellation that maps you toward the center of our galaxy. So right between the tail of Scorpius and Sagittarius, the teapot, is the center of our Milky Way galaxy. So it's a worthwhile one to know to help you navigate the night sky.
Very cool. Can we try mine real quick?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, no
All right,
promises.
sorry about the blinding light there. Ooh, like Brooke said, we're thinking that modifying this with a shorter box is the way to go.
It's kind of, again, guys, it's hard to see. So I hate to say trust us, especially after I've told you I'm bad at crafts already, but it is pretty cool. Yeah, I think that would be a really fun activity for someone in that like 10 to 14 age range.